playground.
Even I can do it better.
Are you wondering what Hammerfall is up to? Oscar is going to write about. It's going to be written in Swedish. But they think to a publisher, and they went to translate it in English as well.
Can you translate that in English as well?
I think it should be translated in German as well. Would you learn a foreign language just to read a book?
No.
Would you learn a foreign language just to read a book?
No.
Basically what that says.
That's all we have on that.
Yeah. Translate that. Yeah, so what that basically says is, are you wondering what Hammerfall has been up to? Remember we were talking about
taking a year off.
Remember we were talking about that?
Yes.
So are you wondering what they're up to in their time?
Writing a book, apparently.
Hey, you're supposed to say, whoa, what are they up to?
Translate?
Writing a book that should be translated in
He's
German.
writing a book, but he's writing the Hammerfall book, but he's writing it in the Swedish language. Exactly. The publisher thinks that it should be written in English and translated in English as well. And Oscar says they should be translated in German as well because they have a lot of German fans. Now the question I have is, would you learn a language just to read a book?
No.
I would like to learn a foreign language like German or whatever like that. That would be kind of cool, but I'm certainly not going to do it to read his book.
Not to read that Hammerfall book? No. You guys like Hammerfall?
No. Not really.
I actually like Dream Evil better, because the singer's other name.
Is it the same guy?
Yeah, it's the same vocalist, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I saw Hammerfall open for Death. And
we did too. We did too.
Yeah, you saw that tour.
Yeah, no, the truck.
Right, yeah, I was at the tour. And I thought they were great. Do you think they were great?
I think at that time I was really sort of not into power metal at all, so it's kind of fun to watch, but like I'm not going to be putting Hammerfall into my CD player or anything like that.
Zero appeal.
It's sort of like
pretty. I rather read the Chinese food menu.
I liked them for about 2 or 3 albums. Like the first 2 or 3 albums I really enjoyed, and then it kind of like I kind of got away from power metal in general. Power metal to me kind of comes and goes.
Yeah.
Like I like it for a little while, and then it gets really stale, and I don't want to listen to it at all, and I just hate it. Like I don't want to listen to it. Period. Then I go back and I'm like, yeah, it's kind of good. I listen to it for a while again, and then again I'll push it away.
There's bands that are really good at it, and I'm not saying that Hammerfall isn't good at it, but like they're just not one of my favorite bands that are in that genre.
I'm going to listen to power metal. I'm just going to go back to listening. I'll just listen to Halloween. Yeah, I'll listen to Halloween or Gamma Ray. I mean, like all the guys that had something to do with the beginning of it.
That never gets stale. Halloween and Gamma Ray never gets stale. I like Sinner too.
Yeah, they're great.
Yeah.
Matt Sinner, yeah. Primal Fear, yeah.
First couple Primal Fears, then I kind of felt like I was listening to the same album over and over again.
Yeah.
But the first couple, I have the one Primal Fear album in my car, the first one. That album I can listen to over and over and over again. You're the big Hammerfall fan, so talk about it.
Well, I like power metal. It's my favorite genre. Call me crazy, but I like singing. I know that's awful.
It is.
I like Hammerfall, but they're kind of like potato chips. You know, they're catchy at first, but it's just junk food, and you dispose of it. They don't have lasting appeal, I don't think.
So you shit Hammerfall out? Is that basically?
Yeah, I mean.
What are your favorite power metal bands?
Primal Fear I like a lot. I mean, they're kind of like classic metal band, like Manowar. It's kind of classic metal, power metal, crossover stuff.
Blind Guardian?
Yeah, Blind Guardian, although it depends on the album. Sometimes they get too fancy. So it just depends. I mean, I just like singing. I like melody from singing and the hooks. I used to listen to nothing but screaming, and I just got sick of it because now I'm just bored of screaming. I'm like 99% of the population, I guess. Oh, call me crazy.
Yeah, crazy.
Little ones.
Can you stop that, please?
It's kind of hot. Turn me all over.
I know it's not like...
translate that.
I know the genre is not popular in America for some reason, because a lot of people that don't listen to metal, the first thing they'll say is they hate the screaming. I can't hear anything. Well, there's tons of it with singing, you fucking retards. So try listening to it.
So, will one of you fuzzy foreigner Europeans stop Brian?
Do you like that band with the Chinese guy and they play real fast?
Not really.
Dragon Force?
Dragon Force.
Is that power? You consider that power metal?
It is. I don't know. They focus so much on the technicality, they lost
It
the
sounds like
songwriting.
I'm listening to a Nintendo game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I think of it too. Yeah.
It sounds like shred metal, power metal.
Yeah.
And
Dragon Force to me is like the newest version of Nitro of now.
that's actually not a bad analogy for power
Yeah,
metal.
like Michelangelo.
Yeah, because it is. That's exactly what it is. But I like
Being
Nitro.
Why can't
really
they-
over top?
Why can't
Yeah.
there be more singing in more styles of metal? Why does it have to be confined to one genre?
It doesn't.
No, it's
But
a
it
genre.
kind of is. It is, though.
Well, that's one of the things why I like soil work. I like soil work because the guys like they. I like soil work.
I like
You
the first-
have to
I like the first
them.
three
I like soil
albums.
work a
Actually,
lot.
I do too.
I think when he
The
started
first three
singing,
albums are great.
when he started singing, it really added to it because he's got a really good melodic voice.
Like Predator's Portrait, yeah.
What about Opeth?
Oh,
Don't get him started on Opeth.
The growling,
I
the
love Opeth,
singing.
but he does not.
I did not know Opeth fan at all.
Really?
Yeah, say Opeth again.
Like
Say
an
it,
ass kick?
Say Opeth.
Opeth.
See, that's another problem of Chuck Schuldiner dying because he tried it with Control Denied because he didn't like screaming. He said he screamed in death because that's what the fans expected, but he didn't like it. And then he tried it and then he died. So that's another loss.
You think?
Don't
You think?
try it.
Wait, you think him singing power metals would kill him?
He was, yeah, he was cancer.
So he really said that he only on
Yes.
Scream Bloody
It's in an
Gore he
interview.
was saying death metal vocals because
No, later on in
Oh, okay.
interviews, he
I
didn't
was just saying,
prefer.
he kind of invented it. So
Yeah, he
How
did.
can they
Yeah,
expect
yeah.
that? If, you know,
He said that Death has that vocals at that point later on
Right.
because that's what the fans expected. He wasn't going to change it.
That last tour that they did, he wasn't really even doing deaf vocals anymore. He
No.
was more like screaming.
Speech
and-
kinda-
He was more raspy
Yeah,
vocals.
I mean,
you know?
I don't want to say anything negative about it, but I really didn't enjoy that tour, like the
Sound of
way it
Perseverance,
sounded.
definitely.
Oh, I
It's
think
speechy.
I thought that was like, well, we're big fans of Death
Yeah.
for sure. Chuck's work and stuff, but man, you know,
But I love it.
We loved it. I thought they were phenomenal.
No, I think technically I just didn't like the way he was singing it.
Oh, right.
Later on, I didn't
I
like
remember
his
the
singing
review you
style.
wrote. You call them like witchy vocals.
Yeah, I don't like the. Yeah, like later on, he started sounding like.
He was
Yeah,
like that.
I liked it much better. Like, I love Spiritual Healing.
Oh, that's
Actually,
a great record.
I mean, I like the fact that he was like one of the first death metal guys. I mean, he's so influential to like the whole scene, but all the things he did were so ahead of his time. But when he started, Spiritual Healing was like the first one where he really took a conscious effort to be decipherable.
Yeah.
yeah.
Spiritual Healing is like one of the first death metal albums you can understand every word he's saying
Yeah.
without trying. Think about it. You know what I mean? Like, you know, he started off when it was like, you know, we started doing Scream Bloody Gore, it didn't quite sound like that, you know? But then, he really emphasized the things, and then he got in, he was the first guy to get really into, like, prog.
Yeah.
You know, get the proggy and, like, technical death metal. And he started almost like the death metal thing. So that guy, his whole life was an innovator.
The Trailblazer, babe. Definitely.
So with me, I kind of like look at like Death was very influential, but I look at Atheist.
Oh, they were
And
great,
like
too.
Cynic and like Pestilence
And Believer.
as like the bands that he liked that made him, you know, he was influenced by them bands. I
Yeah.
thought. You know, because Atheist was real proggy by the end, you know, with Elements. And then Cynic, I mean, that band was.
Yeah.
That's why Human's my favorite Death album because it's like the best. You got Death and Cynic. Like
Yeah,
that's, you know.
We actually caught Cynic on their last tour through up in Westchester.
Yeah.
And there was like, it was a small club, maybe, maybe 50, 60 people there, if that. And it was like, that band is just phenomenal. Like, I can't say enough good stuff about Cynic. They're just, that guitar player is just off the wall, and, you know, it's very cool. That's sort of like the like that feeling or that vibe of metal still out there. Even though I don't know if I necessarily call them metal so much anymore, but
Yeah,
they still have that.
it's
They
still-
have that sound in them, so you still have some of that element still out in the scene, and like real true talent.
They
you
kind
know?
of sing, right? The one Cynic, the one I heard.
But the new
anyway.
album, yeah.
Yeah, what's the one when they reunited? Trapped and was it
Traced in Air.
Traced in
Traced in
Air?
Air,
Yeah, I'm not real big on it, but at least it kind of sings. So
Oh, you should listen to the newest one. What's it? Carbon Based Anatomy.
Yeah, that's what I don't know what to make of that EP. Like,
Well, you should listen to that. You probably dig that because he's doing nothing but singing on that.
Yeah.
It's funny how sometimes bands get so far away from what they were doing. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like where it's not even, you know, the death metal guys are all of a sudden like, you look at all the evolution of all those like bands like Amorphous and Sentenced and all those bands that started off, right? That started off real heavy, and then all of a sudden, they were completely, slowly but surely, they were completely, they're not the same band anymore. A lot of bands.
I actually like Sentence when they changed, and I like Amorphous.
Sentence is, I love Sentence.
Yeah. Amorphous too. I like the way Amorphous turned. Like I actually like their stuff with their singing vocalists.
Yeah,
It's the privilege of evil.
It's another good example.
Yeah.
Later down the line.
Yeah, it's like crazy. I mean, if you listen to Sentence, they have that. It's not greatest hits album. I guess it is. It has like all their stuff starts off where they're real like heavy death metal, and then they did like Cover the Trooper on there, and then it comes up to this present day where they have all those songs where they're all about killing themselves. Pretty much every song is like,
bleed in my
I
arms.
kill myself. Yeah.
And then the guitar player did kill himself.
Did he? He got him sentenced?
Yeah. He drank himself to death.
What, recently?
Yeah, he died a couple years ago.
Oh, I
He was
didn't know
36
that.
years old.
Yeah.
I guess the one
Was it after the funeral album?
Yep.
It was right after that, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
He drank himself to death.
All right, well, I guess that's what we have on Oscar writing a book for Hammerfall.
Thanks for clearing that up for me.